as many of you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the filmmaking industry, guys. Went to school at the New York Film Academy, and this has just been, one of those industries that I absolutely love. It's kind of like hand in hand for me with gaming. I absolutely love the gaming industry, but I also love filmmaking. I love the movie making industry, guys. It's an incredible thing, and I thought that I've wanted to talk about this for a while now. I think that in sports, we look at, who are the greatest, athletes of all time. And then, the big one as of late, guys, is LeBron James versus Michael Jordan. And I wanted to go ahead and do something similar, but that within the movie industry. So I'm a huge fan of Leonardo DiCaprio, guys. I think that he is incredible. I mean, his work has been expanded over the course of time. And I think it's one of the best careers up to this point in time in the history of filmmaking. However, the question really comes down to, is Leonardo DiCaprio the greatest actor of all time? And so that's another, conversation that we have to have, guys, because I know that a lot of you out there are probably big DiCaprio fans as well, or you have your favorite actor that you really like, or your favorite actress. But with that, I wanted to take who I believe are the two greatest ever at, when we talk about just from acting in that perspective. I believe that DiCaprio, he's been, there's been a number of times, guys, where I felt like throughout his career he should have won more Academy Awards, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, we could go on and on about that for ad nauseum, essentially. But what I wanted to do was compare two careers up to this very point in time. DiCaprio's not done yet, and the other guy is Daniel Day-Lewis, who is considered to be pretty much one of, if not the greatest actor of all time. And so I wanted to compare these two guys and kind of see, well, is DiCaprio close to being, surpassing the greatest of all time? Is DiCaprio already the greatest of all time? I think there's a lot of, conversations that we could have about this. So I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you guys think that Daniel Day-Lewis or DiCaprio or are the greatest, or do you think that it's someone else? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this. So look, guys, at the end of the day, I'm going to be using Wikipedia articles to kind of compare these two, juggernauts within the filmmaking, industry, two incredible actors that have spanned over the course of time. DiCaprio's very first movie was Critters 3 back in 1991, whereas Daniel Day-Lewis was Sunday Bloody Sunday in 1971. And when you look at everything, guys, between these two, DiCaprio actually has been in a lot more films. He's been in a lot of movies. He's been a producer of a lot of movies as well as being in TV. Now, Daniel Day-Lewis on the flip side of this has been in less movies, but he has done television. He's actually done stage as well. So he's done a little bit, even a little bit more outside of filmmaking than DiCaprio has. But DiCaprio certainly has Daniel Day-Lewis when it comes to filmmaking, as far as the films are concerned. Now, the big thing is that there's a number of ways that you have to break this down when we compare these two incredible actors. So when we look at Leonardo DiCaprio, his list of awards, his nominations and such. So essentially, guys, he's been nominated 168 times, okay? Which is a pretty big deal. You're being nominated a lot. However, he was a runner-up 4 times, and he's won only 54 times. So put that in perspective here. We're talking less. He's getting nominated a ton for pretty much almost all the roles he's done as of late, guys. He's getting nominated for, but he's not winning. And the times that he's winning, he's not winning the big ones. So let's put it into perspective. The Academy Awards, or the Oscars, are essentially the Super Bowl in the filmmaking industry, guys. It's the biggest deal out of them all. You can look at wins, you can look at losses, but it really comes down to how many times have you won an Oscar? And so with DiCaprio, we are talking he has only won one time, and it was for The Revenant. But if you look at just for example, guys, when we look at the Academy Awards, he was obviously he was nominated for What's Eating Gilbert Grape, which I think a lot of these I feel that he was snubbed, but that's probably just me because I'm a big DiCaprio fan. But What's Eating Gilbert Grape, he was nominated for The Aviator, Blood Diamond, The Wolf of Wall Street, The Revenant, as well as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And so he's been nominated for Best Supporting Actor. He's been nominated for, of course, just being the Best Actor as well. And he's only won once, that being The Revenant. Okay. Now, he's won a number of other awards, guys, outside of the Academy Awards, but I think that that's the big one. Okay. Now, so remember, 168 nominations. He's won 54 times. Now, on the flip side of this, Daniel Day-Lewis absolutely, he has done, what's really impressive with Daniel Day-Lewis, guys, is he's been nominated 212 times and has won 139 times, okay? So let's put that into perspective, guys. He is absolutely incredible when we are talking about the times that he's been nominated and the wins that he's had. Now, all of those wins that he's had, guys, it's quite impressive. Now, the biggest thing to me, though, that's impressive about Daniel Day-Lewis versus DiCaprio is the simple fact that, like we said earlier, Daniel Day-Lewis has not done as many movies as Leonardo DiCaprio, yet he's won more. So he's been in less movies and he's won more. So that's really something you got to look at, guys. So look at it this way. You've got from 1990 to 2018, he was nominated, and we're going based on Academy Awards in particular. So we're looking at, he was nominated for My Left Foot, In the Name of the Father, Gangs of New York, There Will Be Blood, Lincoln, and Phantom Thread. And out of those 6 nominations, he won for My Left Foot, he won for There Will Be Blood, as well as Lincoln. And so right there, you have 3 wins versus 1 for DiCaprio if we're going based on Academy Awards. So right there, guys, he has a better, he's been nominated, 6 times, and he won 3 times. So he's 3 and 6, guys, which is a big deal. Winning that much is huge. Now, the times that he lost to Tom Hanks in Philadelphia, he lost to Adrian Brody for The Pianist, and he lost to Gary Oldman of Darkest Hour. And ultimately, though, guys, he's an incredible actor. And so really, when we look at this as a whole, Daniel Day-Lewis apparently is retired. He's finished. He's done. He told everyone he was going to be done after Phantom Thread. So let's just say, theoretically, that his career is done. It's cemented. His legacy's cemented. Right now, there's no debate in my mind that he's the greatest, because it's really the totality you have to look at. And based upon how many movies he's actually done versus how many times he's won is extraordinary. It's incredible. Having 212 nominations and he's won 139 times, that's a big deal. DiCaprio, guys, here's the way I look at it. If he can win a couple of more, Academy Awards at this point in his career, which I still think DiCaprio has a long, his journey is going to be, is going to be really good. I think he's going to have a good amount of a career left over. I think that he can win at least one more Academy Award, if not a couple more. And if he can do that, then we'll have to kind of look at this once again to see, how many nominations he's had, how many wins he's had. I don't believe he's ever going to reach the number of wins. 139 is astronomical. As far as nominations go, he could get pretty close to where Daniel Day-Lewis is. I think the big thing, though, that separates Daniel Day-Lewis to Leonardo DiCaprio at this point is how many times he's won the big one. The amount of times he's won the Super Bowl of filmmaking, that being the Academy Awards. 3-1, guys. If DiCaprio can tie that, we're going to have a real conversation. Because when I look at this, and this just may be me, guys, the movies that DiCaprio has also played in, I enjoy a lot more than the ones that Daniel Day-Lewis was in. Even though Daniel Day-Lewis did a great job in his movies, I still personally really liked DiCaprio's movies. When we look at What's Eating Gilbert Grape, I thought it was incredible in that. The Aviator, I really liked The Aviator. Blood Diamond, a great movie. The Wolf of Wall Street, one of my favorites ever. The Revenant, another one of my favorites. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think was really great as well. So All in all, guys, when I look at the totality of like all of the movies that DiCaprio's done, I think that he's done a lot more better movies in my opinion. But the performances that Daniel Day-Lewis has done, which at the end of the day is what defines the greatest, I think that he's done more and he's just had way more accomplishments up to this point. Can DiCaprio catch him? I absolutely think he can. I think DiCaprio's been snubbed a number of times when it comes to the Academy Awards. But the same can be said for Daniel Day-Lewis. Maybe he should have won more. Maybe he should have won for Gangs of New York, and maybe even Phantom Thread. You know, it's hard to say, but what we know is what we know. And at this very moment in time, DiCaprio, I think he takes a hard second place to none other than Daniel Day-Lewis on the greatest of all time list, and I think that DiCaprio can certainly catch him. Who else do you guys think is on the list, though, to kind of is gaining over time here, getting closer and closer to catching Daniel Day-Lewis? You think it's DiCaprio or someone else? Let me know in the comment section down below, and for more content like this, guys, stay here with Zero TV.